Hey everyone, this is Sarah Lyon here with Maximum Muscle Report, and I'm sitting with Jennifer Dorie at the Pittsburgh Pro just before taking the stage. We're just about 6 hours away or so.
Hello.
Jennifer, how are you feeling so far coming into the show?
Feeling really good. Definitely feel like it's one of my best practices yet, so I'm relaxed and just excited to get on stage soon. It's a little bit different doing a nighttime show, so trying to hold conditioning and peak for the right time. But I think we got to figure it out, so I feel good.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it definitely is. It's a kind of a different ball game,
Definitely,
you know.
you kind of have to just throw back the time a couple hours.
Right.
So like when you start your peak, how you normally would peak for like an afternoon, like 12 p.m. show, just push it back like 5 hours.
Right.
So that's what we've done.
Right. Okay, that's good. So then now we're going to have prejudging tonight, and then you have basically a whole other 24 hours before finals.
We were just talking about this, like, I want to eat.
Yeah, how are you supposed to put off eating and Pittsburgh? Great food here.
Yeah, I know. I was actually talking to the Uber driver about food places,
Yeah.
so I wrote a list.
You can never pass up food in Pittsburgh,
Yeah,
or
anywhere.
never put past a bikini girl what food to eat and where.
Exactly.
We always know best. So now this year you kicked off with a show in Brazil.
Yeah, so in Colombia.
In Colombia, in Colombia, and you ended up fourth there.
Yeah.
Wasn't your best, but
Yeah, so I mean, the goal was to kind of bring a different physique this year because last year I was critiqued as being too hard, too shredded, and the Olympia, my feedback was I was way too shredded. So
Okay.
mainly my lower half. So Colombia, we decided to bring a little bit softer of a look. I did get pretty sick that show the night before, so kind of threw off my package. And then we had 2 weeks to go into the Arnold. So with the feedback, they said just come in a little bit tighter, nothing too crazy though. And then after the Arnold's, I placed fourth there, obviously, and then Sandy pretty much came back to me backstage and was like, "This is the best I've ever seen you look. Like,
Good.
don't change. This is your perfect balance. Not too hard, not too soft." So
that's great.
I got a little bit tighter, just because I like to be a little bit tighter than be softer. So
Yeah.
my lower half is a little bit tighter, but other than that, pretty much a very similar look to Arnold's.
It's a little bit easier of a fix if you're a little bit too hard on show day. You know, add a little bit more food, add a little bit more water, maybe a little bit more sodium. You know,
Exactly.
it'll balance itself out. So, you know, coming in a little bit leaner, I assume that allows you to, you know, just fill out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Do you carb up quite a bit?
Yeah, so we've actually tried a few different things. Usually, like previous years when I was super lean, I would eat a ton of carbs. Like Olympia, I think I had like 5 or 800 carbs. It was ridiculous. But so for the Arnold's, actually, I did not do a big carb up because I was on a lot lower carbs than what I usually am. And we just did very moderate, tapered my carbs up during the week, and nothing crazy. It was like very moderate carbs for me. This show we carved up a lot more because I was leaner.
Right.
So nothing too crazy though.
Yeah. And do you notice, I'm sure some of the girls out there are wondering, you know, when you are eating, you know, 500 to 800 grams of carbs, you know, that's a lot, especially for a bikini girl. But do you notice that you have any digestive issues with that, or are you pretty balanced all the way through with how everything goes?
I'm pretty good just because, for instance, like when I was eating that, like leading up to the Olympia, my peak week, I was eating like 250 grams of carbs a day, so my body was used to it. And I just make sure like I stick with the same foods, like rice cakes, rice, cream of rice, stuff that I'm used to. And butter tarts, of course. But like,
yes, if you don't follow her, you need to really check out her Instagram. We'll put it here for you guys. Like, check out her Instagram. See what she carves up with. It looks delicious.
It's a Canadian dessert. It's called a butter tart. So it's like a kind of like a shortbread crust, I'd say, like a buttery crust, and it's got like the filling's like maple, like buttery. It's kind of like the inside of a pecan pie is the best way to explain it. Really
that
good.
sounds delicious.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's also a lot of girls out there that are probably a little bit jealous right now too. They probably don't carb up with that.
Yeah, but don't just try it unless it works for you. Please. I don't want to be responsible.
Right. Yeah. At your own risk.
Yes.
With this show, are you going to be wearing the same suit?
Yeah, so my purple suit, that's a new suit
We're
for me
sticking
this
with
year.
that.
Yeah, I really like the purple on stage. I think it suits me well, and I'm happy I chose to do that from the green. So
Yeah.
I'm sticking with that one.
Hey, you got to play around with it a little bit. That suit maybe turns you pro, that color, but then moving
and the
on.
curls. I'm doing the curls this show again too.
Awesome,
so that's
awesome. And now, do you have the rest of your show schedule lined up for the 2019 season now?
Yes. So after this, we're going into New York Pro, which is in 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks after that, I'm going home for Toronto Pro. So
there you go, going home.
Going home.
That's rewarding. And that
Yeah.
last year, that was where you and Ashley Cotwasser battled it out.
That was Vancouver.
That was Vancouver.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Toronto Pro, I did my debut at last year though.
Oh
and I
yes,
placed
that's what it
third
was.
there,
That's where everyone was, who is this girl? I'll never forget that. We were sitting at home, Bandis and I, relaxing, bodybuilding, and it was one of the one weekends we had off, and you know the results came out, and your stage pictures came out, and we both kind of did a double take, and it was a back picture.
Yeah.
And Ashley didn't do this show. That's
what
exactly what we said.
We were like, who's that Ashley Kawase looking like?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that photo shoot that you guys did too after Legions, right?
So that's how we did it, because people kept saying like we look like sisters. So we're like, let's do like a shoot, the two of us. It's fun.
Yeah, you guys definitely got to check that out too. That's over on MPC News Online with JM Mannion. Awesome photo shoot. Two girls that look identical practically and have great physiques. So with this show then, do you come in with expectations? How do you kind of get mentally prepared?
Yeah. Well, so obviously the goal is to qualify for the Olympia, so I need to get some points going. That's why I chose the higher level shows, because I don't want to stress my body out with doing a bunch of smaller shows that are smaller points. I mean, everyone goes into the show obviously wanting to win. That's the end goal, but I don't have any expectations really. I mean, just bringing my best package, because you can't control who shows up, what the judges want that day, how everyone else looks on stage.
And I think that's something that every competitor from the NPC even to the pro level, you know, maybe girls who just turned pro, they really need to rewind and listen to what she said again, because you know, you go into a show with expectations. This sport is subjective.
You don't want to disappoint yourself. And I mean, even if like, let's say you were to place top 3 or top 5, this is such a prestigious show, and the lineup is insane that even just being top 5 would be like an honor in this show. Right. So it's like, to be disappointed with that would almost be like, it's offensive, you know? So it's like, if you set yourself up for disappointment like that, there's no point. I'd just rather go into it relaxed, no stress. Right. Absolutely. I completely agree. That way, you know, when you ease into it, you know that your cortisol levels stay down. You probably look super like calm right now. That's how I want to stay. Right, exactly. So now, after you go, you know, maybe you do a couple more shows here, then we'll take a break for the Olympia. With the Olympia, who do you think is going to be, you know, the biggest competition, if you will, within that top 5? Definitely my Canadian sister Laura Lee. So me and her are really good friends, but she has amazing physique and she's amazing personality too. So I don't know, I'm rooting for her. She's my top choice. That's awesome. And the way too, you know, you're rooting for her. Of course, you know. That's how we are. Right. Yeah, that's how it should be, you know. It's the camaraderie. At the end of the day, you know, it is a competition, but it's up to the judges. You know, it's not that you're truly competing or battling someone. And I think a lot of people like get that mixed up too, and you know, it's not like it's like a battle between us. Realistically, like there's enough room for all of us to succeed up top. I feel like a lot of people like they want to get catty or something that's like, it's for what? Right, exactly. There's so many shows, like everyone's gonna win different shows, and even if like that's another reason why expectations, like even if you won a show last weekend, Prince, then you come into this show, doesn't mean that you're gonna win. It's a different group of girls, it's a different show, it's a different judging panel. Same thing if you've been on like a winning streak, like, or you've been doing well, like you can't expect to do the same with the show. That's why I don't want to have any expectations. That's the way to do it. You know, that's it. I mean, perfect, you know, setup or example for that is, you know, we were at a show in South Carolina at the World Clash, and there were a couple girls that were literally in almost the last call out. And then the following weekend, they were in the top 5. Exactly. Completely different show. It's just how the name of the game, you know, it changes a little bit. You know, you switch out 2 different judges, you might have a completely different top 5. Yeah, exactly. So understanding that, I think, is the first and foremost part of staying mentally sane in this sport. Just because like you're at the top doesn't mean you're guaranteed that's why. You still have to come in looking the part. You still have to come in the way the judges want you to. So I mean, the judging panel here it's all like the Olympia judging panel. So you're gonna get the best. Exactly. That's why this show is so prestigious too. So. Yeah, and it's a good show to do, you know. Good feedback for going to Olympia too. I always say, you know, you want to be in front of the people that are going to be judging you at your end goal, so to speak. Yeah. So now that you are in Pittsburgh, you talk to your Uber driver about what to eat. What's your plans for tomorrow night? What are you going to have? Well, tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. I was like, I can't eat yet. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow I can eat. I really want, like, when we were in LA, Laura Lee, we went to Cheesecake Factory, and they all got this cheesecake. It was like I think it's like the Adams peanut butter one. It has like peanut butter icing, and I've been like dying for that. So I really thinking about that. Yeah. And I don't have anything specific in mind. Just something sweet.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
a sweet
just
person.
sweet girl.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, tonight, like I said, we have prejudging at 5 p.m. Imagine Bikini will be around 6:30 or so. So you guys make sure to follow Maximum Muscle Report. See all the coverage there. Will be up to the minute for you. And then, of course, finals tomorrow at 5 p.m. So we'll have that anxious 24 hours to sit and stew and see how everyone does. Yeah. But was I in the middle or?
I'm always like that after shot. I'm like, oh, do you think I'm even in the top?
Right.
I'm like, do you think I'm still gonna be top 5? They're like,
and he's probably like, you were in first call outs.
yeah, and I'm like, I wonder if I'm gonna get top 5.
Right. Yeah, of course. Naturally.
Yeah.
Competitor in you. Well, we will definitely be catching up with Jennifer then post-show, hoping for that top spot finish.
I hope so.
Absolutely. But until then, it's Sarah Lyon, Jennifer Dorie, Maximum Muscle Report. We'll see you next time.